Thank you for joining us on Mind Monkeys Welcome, Bananas Optional, our regular opportunity to pause, then name, explain, and reframe some of those common hesitations that get in the way of the successes that we deserve. I'm Mark Franklin. I'm your guide as we embark on raw, honest, irreverent, and important conversations designed to acknowledge and normalise those fears, the fears that we each face at work and at play, in order to help you, our beloved listener, reframe those perspectives around the stories that perhaps you've been telling yourself, creating for yourself, that have been feeding those monkeys. I have a very special guest with me today, a very dear friend as well, Alex Beeching. Alex is a public speaking coach, copywriter, author, and professional idea-volcano. He is a former top Adland copywriter, creative with 17 years experience. He's worked with brands such as Pernod Ricard, the Times, Warner Brothers, Waterstones, HMV, HSBC, Heineken. Helped create world's best bars, wrote a best-selling book for Hachette, was accepted into RADA, won an Oxford offer, now a TEDx speaker, and was recently shortlisted for Speaker of the Year. I could go on, but rather than me talk about Alex, let's hear from Alex himself. Good morning, or good afternoon, I should say, my friend. How are you doing?
Yes, good morning to those where it's still morning, and good afternoon. Yes, I'm fine. Thanks, Mark, for inviting me. Let the games begin.
Let the games begin, indeed. This is going to be just the most magical of mayhems, I think. I've no idea what we're going to talk about, where this is going to go, but I think that is the joy in terms of the conversations we normally have. Alex, I'm going to begin because the theme of this show is fear, I guess, and normalizing, rationalizing fear. Something you do incredibly well, better than pretty much anybody I know on LinkedIn, to be fair, is you have this magical way with words, verbalizing, writing, just storytelling in all sorts of different media and formats on the platform. You are clearly fearless when it comes to being verbose. The people you support probably aren't quite so fearless. How do you help them find their voice?
Well, I help them turn off the wrong voice because people are often speaking with a voice that isn't their own. They're speaking with corporate Bob's voice or KPI Katie. And much of it is subtractive. So you take away what you don't need and you're left with what you do, like Michelangelo and the block of marble is the analogy I often employ. But I believe the fear bit is key, because not only it's about doing things, it's about the way in which you show up, the words you use and the words you don't use. So I try and find the fire behind the words, the child who is in there somewhere, and we take away the layers, the leverages, the synergies, I should do this, I should do that, the mortgages, and we find the human being inside. And I guarantee you that human being has a story to tell.
I love that. So essentially, I mean, it's all that conditioning, all those kind of opinions that we think are important. Getting rid of that, finding the child. I love that, because that's when we are at our most limitless, isn't it? When we are just new to the world and open-eyed. Tell me more. So you're creating fire within someone, or that's not true. You're not creating fire. You're exposing that fire.
You're finding it. The fire's there. It's just been hidden. It's been hidden behind bullet points and behind compliance and behind convention. And I mean, I was only speaking to someone today who's an editor of a big publication in Gloucestershire, So Gloss. The magazine, some of you may have read it, not sponsored. And she's a brilliant speaker, but Michelle Friend, and her problem is she can't remember sometimes words in public speaking. And it turns out that when that monkey jumps on her back, her memory just goes whoop. Mm-hmm. So if you remove the monkey, you remove the fear. If you remove the fear, then you can speak as you should speak. You can take your voice, as I say, off airplane mode, because so many of us speak on airplane mode. We are not connected to the Wi-Fi, in the sky, the metaphorical Wi-Fi. And she's like many of my clients in many ways. They think that something is the problem, and it's not the problem. The problem is more often than not a reframe away from your solution. You can reframe this fear, this I can't do this, I don't have anything to say. You can reframe it. And by so doing, you then see, oh yeah, I do have something to say. And I've been saying it. I just didn't know I was saying it, or I've forgotten how to say it. So what my work is, not only is it about words, about presence, psychology, all those things I've learned in advertising, it is about reminding them who they are. And the fear has built this wall between them and the person they need to be. So it's about smashing that wall.
If I may be so bold as to ask, as someone who has clearly sort of smashed down their own walls, how was that journey for you? Tell me about your sort of the way you've navigated towards finding and being able to share your true voice.
Well, I'm not fearless. On the contrary, I'm anxiety on 3 espressos. But what I do is, because I know my why, I know that I can do what I do, as much I can't, but I know I can do what I do. This gives me a sort of catapult. So I catapult myself through and over the fear onto the other side. And then I'm nervous now, but before I know it, I'm running away with an idea. I'm on a magic carpet, we're going at 1,000 miles an hour I'm wearing a helmet. I don't know where I'm going. And the idea and the fact that I can help people carries me away from those monkeys shaking their fists at me as I zoom away on the magic carpet. So it's not that I kill fear. I don't. I just reframe it and find ways to outrun it.
So, I mean, I feel sort of bold enough to ask, what is your why? Let's put that one out there.
You see, I come from darkness. I come from pain. Bad childhood. The rest of it. My mum had and has type 2 bipolar, and I was more or less a carer from 4. So you learn fast what to fear and what not to fear. And speaking in front of 1,000 people is nothing when you've seen the darkness. So that has given me a perspective. And we have 2 choices. You either give into the darkness or you try and throw light into it. And my job, it's not always a lucrative, but my job is to find the light in the darkness. And I love doing that with people who think that they can't speak, they can't communicate, they don't have enough clients, all those businessy things. I like helping them using my brain, what it's good at, to get them out of that darkness into the light. That's my why, essentially. I know I can do this. I can make people laugh. I see the world differently. And if people like that, great, And to be honest, I've got to the point now where I've been through the shitstorm, and sometimes I'm in it still. But guess what? I'm going out swinging. Put it that way. Whatever is thrown my way, I've always fought. And I'll keep fighting to the end. So that's my why.
I truly appreciate you sharing that, Alex. That's very generous of you, and I love. I mean, again, the energy that always exudes from you. It comes across in terms of, like you say, what's on the other side of that catapult, that movement from where you were, what you've witnessed, and what you've sort of lived, to where you want to be, and how you can help others make that move too into the light. That's your kind of one of your many superpowers, I would say. It's that kind of, you climb on the magic carpet and everyone wants to get on with you because they know that wherever this journey takes them, it's going to be full of positivity and laughter and enjoyment and pleasure.
That's what I hope. I can bring a bit of that joy, because life's hard, and the game of being is hard. So I'm no stranger to that myself. So you've got 2 roads. You've got one that leads to to Mordor, and you've got one that leads to a place of sunlight. So I've chosen that path. I'm not saying that the darkness doesn't find you sometimes, the fear, but put it this way, I'll try and KO it if I can.
And you have that sort of very sort of intrinsic driver of looking for the light. That's what.
Yes, absolutely. Whether that light is humour or helping someone, get more clients in a more prosaic way, or nail public speaking or video, all those things, it's still part of it. I hate to see people suffer, so because I know what it's like. So it sounds sanctimonious. That is the truth. And I forget about the money bit. Don't tell my bank manager. But if I can help them take them from this place, wherever they are, to somewhere else better, then I'll do it.
And again, correct me if I'm wrong, but it isn't sort of the greatest joy there, or one of the many sort of joys within that, is that kind of earning by stealth. So like you say, you've got bills to pay. You are in business to help people speak.
Oh, yeah.
But that side of it kind of comes along naturally on the back of
That's what I hope.
helping people find the light.
That's what I hope, because I suck at business. I hate business, to tell you the truth. The whole sordid business of business, the money, this is my funnel, my ticklish funnel, and all that nonsense. I don't like it. I really don't like it. But what I do like are ideas and entertaining and helping people. And if I can get them there and pay my bills, then that's a win-win as far as I'm concerned. What I'm not good at is doing everything you're supposed to do, make sure all my content pillars are, they're not toppling, and the branding, all the stuff that I know from advertising, because I've seen through the other side that it's bullshit. Yeah. And it's bullshit that makes money. But if I can help people make a success of themselves with public speaking and writing, whatever, or ghostwriting, then let's do it in a better way, without the cringe. Frankly, that's my philosophy.
And I think, again, it's one of the reasons that I was drawn to sort of your content and to you on LinkedIn and how we sort of originally connected. And it goes back to what you were saying in terms of peeling away all those layers of noise and acronyms and business jargon and nonsense that is irrelevant, essentially.
Ultimately,
it means nothing. It's just another run on the ladder that people desperately cling on to in the hopes that it's going to move them up. But if you stick to what it is that you really love, what's really important to you, where and how you want to make a difference, the kind of ladder finds its way underneath your feet. Is that fair?
Brilliant. Yeah, well put. Yeah, I mean, in other words, if I ever say the word synergy unironically, one of two things has happened. One, I've been kidnapped by aliens. Two, I'm a hostage. So I will never do that. I will never play that game. Language word should be jewels, not, I don't know, there's green counters you get in Waitrose, you put in the thing when you vote for a good cause. They're jewels. And I think it dishonors language. It's a middle finger to Shakespeare to say data-driven, synergistic, self-fulfilling, AI-enabled paradigms. It's nonsense. I know it's nonsense. You know it's nonsense.
Yeah.
But when you don't know it's nonsense, that's dangerous, because people make money from this nonsense and they rise to the top with a sort of strategic mediocrity by just making the noises they're supposed to make and doing the things they're supposed to do. And I won't play that game, and I don't play that game. So, yeah.
Good. And I think we're all very grateful to the fact that you don't, because again,
it would be really weird if I turned up and I said delighted to announce and all the rest of it, and you'd be kidnapped. Call the feds if that ever happens. My code word is badger. That means or it should be monkey, actually. Monkey badger. There you go.
Monkey badger.
But enough of my honeymoon. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, that's it now. So I'm literally going to be scouring your posts every time you post a new video. If I see the word monkey badger.
Yes, exactly. If anybody is watching this now and I say monkey badger, call the feds. Okay. If you're watching this now, remember monkey badger, keyword.
Yeah. We need the Beeching hotline to get through.
Yeah, the Beeching hotline.
Yes.
They like you project a big monkey badger like the bat signal.
Who will come? Yeah, it's kind of
good point. Who will come?
The monkey beacon. The monkey beacon is lit. Will we answer
exactly the monkey beacon? Yeah, exactly. I can see that now. 4 monkeys superimposed to make a different color. Like CYMK.
Oh yeah.
There you go. New idea.
Yeah, but then we start getting into trim marks and bleed, and then we're back into mediocrity.
So exactly.
Let's not go there. Right. Let's not go there. No, because, and you said to me when we met earlier this week, beige is your kryptonite.
Yes,
I think it is. Phrase you used to me, which
did I say that?
Tell me.
I must have.
Yeah,
it's it's just so dull. We live on this spinning orb, this marble, and life's too short to be boring. It's too short for synergy and so forth. And I just want to blow all of the beige up, to be honest. I want to put it in a box and shoot it into space. I just can't do it. And I don't mean beige the color. I'm not racist to beige, if you can be racist to a color. But it's that metaphorical beige, just the meh. That it's Reading, it's offices in Reading, it's compliance, it's all that kind of thing that just kills my soul. And I just don't want to do that, and I can't do that. And I want to help people escape the beige, the beige apocalypse. With AI, it's getting worse too, as well.
If I may, though, just to sort of visit the AI sort of point for a minute.
Oh yes, yeah. He's always in the room these days.
He's always kind of loitering with intent.
Yeah.
You use AI.
Oh yeah, I do
very
use
well.
AI. Yeah,
very well. I mean, again, we I think we talked about this, or if not, it was an idea that sparked in my brain after we spoke. This idea of sort of there's kind of two types of AI. There's the front-facing AI, sort of the content that's being created and pushed out, and mostly boring as stupid. And then there's kind of back-end AI, which is kind of useful and helpful, and dare I say it, you automates and processes and actually helps. You use forward-facing, content-driven AI spectacularly well. Again, there's a real originality to it. Tell me more about that.
Well, I've got quite good at prompts with video. I've sort of taught myself, and I use it ironically. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to, it's clearly fake, and I don't make any bones about that. But I will use it. For example, my post today, and don't leave this, but do like it if you're watching it. Thank you, Algo. Is that your voice is a DJ? So I used, what did I use? Seed Dance or something on CapCut, and I've just created myself as a DJ. Could I have done it? Yeah, I could have done it, but I don't have any kit. I don't have the giant headphones, but I just use that. But I did put a real photograph of myself over the top. And I did generate a video, which I haven't done, with me being a DJ, which was interesting. It was just purely for a point. I'm just making a point. I'm not saying, I could totally shoot this idea if I wanted to. It was just to make that point, to help people better understand. It's essentially what I've done. I've 3D-ified my metaphor. Is that DJ, you've got verbal scratches, you've got this wonderful instrument that you can use to get a stranger to do, buy, or think something. 99% of people don't know how to use it. So, please work with me. Essentially, that's what I was doing. So, yeah, I think there's a case for it. There's room for it. Where it's different is when you outsource your thinking, your creative thinking. That way, madness lies. So, I think, use it by all means, but it should be a complement, not a substitute, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a sort of, in that moment, a preferred tool, as you say, to visualize.
In fact, I've been getting a lot of inquiries from people saying, Alex, why don't you turn this into a service? If someone wants to give me some money to create bespoke videos or whatever, I'll do it. I'm a complete whore like that. So if maybe I should do this. I don't know. And then I'll say, actually, AI as a tool, and say that very piously after doing it. It is a tool. Of course it is. And is it worrying a bit? Well, yeah, it is. Will the robots rise against us? Perhaps. Which is why I recommend you always say please when you're using Claude or ChatGPT. It will remember if they do rise up, and you'll be spared.
There'll be a certain area in the kind of prison for people who had good manners.
You said please.
They get extra rations. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe I do turn that into some kind of service, but I don't know. Hey, I can do one for you if you want.
That could be fun. Again, I think, coming back again to sort of how you sort of lead people into their own version of their light. What you do very well with all of your stories, be it written word, be it the visual, be it the AI. Again, you have this idea, and like you said before, I'm going to keep using that magic carpet sort of mental picture because I immediately clung onto it when you said it. You step onto the carpet and off you go. And wherever it takes you is part of the magic. But be it AI, be it the written word, be it a bit of video, you walking through one of the parks in Cheltenham or whatever, it's the idea that leads.
The idea
it's
is
not,
key.
yeah, it's not the platform or the medium.
No, I don't think
you
you
just
care
choose.
about that.
Yeah,
that's a door. The room is the same. The room is the human mind.
Love that. Yeah.
Everything else is just, fripperies, really. My job was in advertising, and it is now is to build that bridge of trust, to entertain and to grab attention. How you do that, in a way, it depends. You can do it with the word, you can do it with an idea, you can do it with, you can do it with music, you can do it with a concept. What matters is what happens in between here, because that is your theatre, that is your battleground. The rest is a means to an end, as far as I'm concerned.
And something you just said there, which beautifully kind of leads into something that I wanted to kind of pick back up with you, that bridge building. Because you mentioned me again, we were chatting on Tuesday, this idea, I think you said like the hyphen is a bridge and you like to build bridges. So a hyphen kind of is the kind of dividing line between two ideas and you like to connect them. Tell me more about this sort of vision you have of connecting people, ideas, stories, whatever it is.
Well, this is my theme in my TEDx that I should be doing. Well, I will be doing on the 20th of September. Do come in Gloucester. It was postponed because of dodgy concrete, which isn't a euphemism. The hyphen. Why do I talk about this? It's in part because I'm half English, half Iranian. My father was Iranian. My mother is English, which means I am Anglo-Iranian, which means there is a hyphen between Anglo and Iranian. What is the point of the hyphen? It joins two things that were hitherto not joined. And then it occurred to me, creativity is about connecting the unconnected, two frames of reference smashed together. And creativity is the one thing I can do, I think, reasonably well. Much I can't. I can't remember any of my passwords. I'm not very good at business. I'm not very good at folding sheets. I'm bad at putting duvet covers on, very. That yesterday I had a whole incident, but I tell you this, creativity, I live it. And if you can connect the unconnected, some of the greatest ideas throughout the ages have come about from connecting two separate worlds. If you think about it, Einstein, space and time, the space-time continuum, or even Harry Potter. You're a wizard, Harry. You've got the public school system plus magic. Boom, put them together. You've got Harry Potter. You've got Star Wars. You've got samurai, knights, and science fiction. And then you've got, these are not the droids you're looking for. So it's built by taking two worlds, smashing them together to make something new. This is how it works. Lateral thinking, Edward de Bono's lateral thinking would tell you that. And we often don't know how to escape from these fixed ways of looking at things. And actually, creativity can help you Houdini yourself out of fear as well, because you can smash two things together and you come up with a new way of seeing, a new way of reframing, as you say, the fear, the monkey that is holding a gun to your head, perhaps, which is a terrifying thought. You can use even creativity to get you out of these situations, to short circuit your mind, so you can escape from this fixed way of looking at things, this channel, this concept prison, to a new way of looking at things. I'm a great believer in that, and I talk about this in my TEDx. I'm not just talking creativity as as a thing. This is metaphysical creativity, that you can use it to help you fight the darkness that we were talking about, and escape from these frankly these prisons, these prisons of the mind.
It's interesting. I was at an event back in May where a chap called Phil Agnew, I don't know if you know Phil, but he did a fantastic presentation on the idea of sort of the new and the different.
Yes,
so
I do know him, actually. Yes.
Yeah, and it was fascinating talking. It was this idea of we say that we want things new, but we actually take it wasn't new different, it was new normal. we're all driven to find something new, but we take comfort in what we know to be our normal.
Precisely.
And this idea of, as you say, sort of manipulating, reinventing, bridging a gap between what we consider to be normal and comfortable, and introducing this other ingredient of newness and originality is what kind of excites us, and in many ways kind of just nudges us forward into, you know, that next step on the magic carpet ride, the next stop on the journey. I don't know where I was going with that, but it just kind of the two.
We're on the magic carpet. We don't know where we're going. There's no GPS on the magic carpet.
No, but I suppose my point is, in terms of your own newness and your own new normal, what is your normal? As you're always striving for these new ideas, again, you're sort of barking and running with incredible sort of, you know, moments of, you know, inspiration.
I'm not trying to. It's just me. It's just I can do no other. It's just how I am. So to me, it is normal, because that's just the way I roll. It's normal when you turn, as you see me in real life, whatever is contradiction in terms, I'm pretty much the same. You turn the camera on, turn the camera off, I'm the same guy. This is what I can do, and I cannot pretend to be anything else. Which is why, yeah, I do think of these ideas, but I also say, well, let's do it. Why not? Let's do it. And that's partly probably comes from my dad, who was pretty wild, you know, fled to Britain. I won't go into details, but involved a lot of AK-47s and the secret police. You know, he was a stuntman for a while in Iran, of all things, in dodgy films. So this wildness probably comes from my dad. He's a Kurd, or was a Kurd. He had bullet wounds. You know, he taught us knife throwing in the garden. I kid you not, knife throwing. Most boys playing football, my dad would do, you know, had to take people out. He was in the Iranian army in the mountain corps. So I have that, and then you add that to my English upbringing with my English family, and you know, Oxford and books and ideas and culture and so on, and you get this really weird, well, this whatever I am. So that I'm a product of these. I'm a literal product of smashing two frames of reference together, which is why I'm doing this talk. I'm what happens when you take East and West and put it in a blender, essentially.
Wonderful. Again, I have this kind of mental picture, as you say. Normal for you is not having that tether, that leash that ties you to sort of ordinariness, if there is such a word.
Well,
you're always striving.
To weaponize their weird, because it's actually a business strategy. Because you know, let's say, I don't know, let's say you're a yoga teacher. There are a trillion yoga teachers, probably not that many, but the one you remember is the one who is different. The one you remember is the one who is human, who does something different. And that's why being different isn't just for the hell of it. It's strategy. You know, it's what I learned in advertising. Branding is about difference, dramatizing that difference, you know, making it so clear that you occupy a certain place in the market that no one else does. That is your job as a copywriter, is to find that place and then take up space in someone's mind, so they think, right, For Fears guy, for example. So already that's doing that work. So other people write on fear and mindset, but you don't remember them necessarily, because they talk about it in, frankly, in the same way that everyone else does. But if you talk about monkeys, if you talk about For Fears, if you're a drummer, and you told me the story, I won't spoil it, but if you know you've actually drummed in for the Lion King, then that's different, and difference beats better now more than ever because of AI slob. So that's why I tell people to be, you know, to find that difference and be the difference, because you know, normal's just setting on a washing machine, as far as I'm concerned.
And I guess coming full circle to sort of one of the first points you made, as you say, normal is all that schema, that noise, that conditioning, that culture, that world that has made suggestions to us as to how we should be. And actually, originality is that purest version of ourselves.
Yes, I think in some ways, because we get a lot of this educated out of us from school, certainly from, I mean, my son's 9 now, and you see, the pressures of this, begin to tell even in the curriculum, and it begins. And I remember being 4 or 5 and knowing that I saw the world differently and saying to myself, I will protect this from all this. And I do it to this day. You've got to protect your way of seeing, because it's pretty much all you've got. So if you succumb to all these external forces telling you to do this, be that, then it will kill your creativity, it will crush it. And so a lot of what I try and help people with is to unlearn a lot of this stuff. This is mindset territory. This is your territory too. Then you come to technique and the rest of it. But it's to unlearn all this stuff, because people have, it's what you were saying the other day. They've been put into a story that isn't their own. The story is that I'm not creative. The story is I need to be this, do that, say that. And they are in the wrong story. So what you do is you leave it. You leave that book and you jump into a new one and you write that story yourself. So it's the right story for you, not the wrong story.
And interestingly, just again, picking up on one thing you said there, this idea of, we believe we're not creative. I have this passionate belief that we're all creative.
I agree.
But how would you? I don't want to do the kind of give me 3 tips as to, but what's the conversation that you would have with somebody who's sat in front of you saying, I'm not creative. I can't reconnect to that original unique version of me. How do you help them? What's the first step?
Well, firstly, I know that what they're saying is a lie. They're telling themselves. So what you do, you coax it out of them. You say, look at that cloud over there. That it looks a bit like looks a bit like Elon Musk breakdancing. And then they laugh. Actually, no, it's not Elon Musk breakdancing. It's more like Lionel Richie breakdancing. I made that up. But what I mean to say is, you get that laugh. They break the walls down, and then you find their fire. What did they want to be when they were 5? What did they want to be when they were 6? What annoys them about their industry? You need a villain. Everyone needs a villain in their story, as I say, for personal branding, which I help people with, or for their socials. What annoys you? And then there is the extraordinary in the ordinary. So going to the supermarket, using a self-checkout till, for example, that can become a post, that can become a video. You could have a dialogue, with the self-checkout from hell. For example, you're in HR and this is a really bad boss, and this tells you, you're not meeting your KPIs because you didn't bring a bag for life, for example, in noting it down. So you could have, I'm just riffing here, you could use the voice, those annoying voices. Just take something very ordinary of your life, and that makes it relatable to your audience. Stuff that annoys you, whatever it is. You lose your keys, for example, if you ever gone into a room and the light's on, you put it off, thinking it was on. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that laugh, that's like observational humor. So you simply draw attention to what we all do, but no one has actually noticed. So that's about the art of attention. So that, for example, what could that be a metaphor for? Getting in the road of yourself, getting in your own way, doing the thing that you think you're doing just on autopilot. Now you've got a metaphor. Now we run with it, and now we see where it takes us. So I would even look at what they're wearing. That may give you a clue as to who this person is. I remember your necklace. I know you're a drummer, and also I was looking at those biceps. You've got drummer's biceps.
Kind of, yeah. Thank you. I'll take that.
Exactly. So you observe, as Sherlock Holmes would. Observe that person, and you will find that poetry in them. You find that fire, and you can use that fire to get more clients. You can use that fire to, get more opportunities and to stand the heck out, which is part of the game, really, whether you're a brand or your personal brand. So I try and see them.
I mean, I think that it's a very beautiful point, perhaps, to kind of start bringing the conversation to a close. The fact that you see people, and not in the kind of Sixth Sense kind of way, but in the, as you say, you're trying
Yes.
to, you are in that sort of glorious, gifted position because you've built. And I just actually no, let's come back to that before we do wrap up. As you said earlier, when you were 5 years old, you wanted to cling on to that magic that you were already feeling in terms of who you were.
Yes.
And you said you put up those defenses. You said, I'm not letting anyone into my castle
I
here.
did. And I do.
How did you do that?
I don't know, to tell you the truth. I was having to cope with a lot, mum, trying to take her life and stuff when I was very little, twice. And you see this, and I thought to myself, well, I need to protect myself. I need to fight for the way in which I see the world. And whether it's physical fighting, which I've been in martial arts all my life, whether it's that. So you're like a soldier of creativity. And you've got to protect your soul at all costs. And moreover, to help others, to laugh, to think better of themselves, to give them confidence. Because I know what it's like when someone is broken. I know what that's like, and I hate to see anyone suffer. So that's why I try and help you, why I try and say something nice. If I see someone's doing something well, then I will try and say it, not for anything, just because I believe that's the right thing to do. Because whether that's smiling to someone in the street or if it's business, if I can help that person in some shape or form, I will. And if they give me some money for it, great, then tonight we eat. So if not, then hey, I've done something. I wish I could be more ruthless like that, businessy, but I find that really hard. I confess. And I say to myself every couple of months, no more Mr. Nice Guy, no more Mr. Nice. Right, I'm going to be, this is it now. I'm just going to, everything. I'm going to turn it to money, whatever. Bada bing, bada boom. And of course, within 5 minutes, I said, I know, I'll do that for you as well. And would you like a cake? And, cake man. And I see that in you as well. You have that kindness that shines through, undoubtedly. And that's one thing that, that is more than, matters more than kind hearts are worth more than coronets, as Tennyson said. So, yeah.
Thank you. And I mean, to flip that back again, I'm very pleased that if you have those moments of, let's start collecting the cash and sort of thing, you immediately flip back out of that, because I think your generosity is one of the many things. Again, it comes through in all the work that you do and all the posts that you share. That very honest generosity, as you say, helping people towards their own version of the light.
It sounds sanctimonious, but it is absolutely 100% the truth. Maybe it's being Persian and you're very extravagant. I don't know what it is, but I'm not good at being that person. The 10 times X your whatever on LinkedIn. And give me the money, download the course, buy. I'm really not good at that. I try.
Well, I'm very pleased you're not, because again, I don't think we'd be having this conversation, or we would have had all those cups of tea and got on as well as we do. You're so you're kind of like you're not gonna, I don't know if you're gonna like this, but I mean it with great love. You're kind of the moth on LinkedIn that's attracting everyone to the light bulb.
Well,
dancing around it, and kind of
moths. I love moths, and don't get me started about moths. So yeah, moths evolved first before butterflies, and they get we've done them dirty, and there's some beautiful moths at the moment. For example, I'm sure you're seeing cinnabar moths flitting about your garden, black with red dots. So yeah, be more moth, less monkey.
More moth, less monkey.
Which reminds me, a new monkey was discovered yesterday. Did you read that?
I did not. No.
A new monkey has been discovered in the Congo. And yeah, so you might have to make maybe 5 fears and have a monkey for each, because it's a new monkey. Yeah. You see, I don't do links. No. I don't do links. Well, I do links, but I'll link anything together.
It's the hyphen bridge coming back.
Hey,
monkey moths, moth monkeys. Yeah.
Yes.
Moth monkey versus Godzilla. Yeah. There's a okay. Now
we've
gone too far. Yeah, we've gone too far on the magic carpet. Let's pull things back. And although you don't do links, very quickly, Alex, in terms of where people can find you, what are the links? How can anybody hop on your magic carpet?
They can find me on Interpol. No, not really. They can find me on Club Speak. I need to sort my website out, but it's okay. Club Speak, which is devoted to public speaking, to video. I'll help you take your voice off airplane mode on camera, on the page, and on video as well. So I'm like an ad agency for everything, really. But the main door is public speaking and communication. Find me on LinkedIn, which I spend more time there than I care to mention. Find me on Instagram. Just send me a DM. I genuinely want to help you. I genuinely want to help you. So whoever you are, I can help you. So just write to me, and we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Alex. Honestly, I think this is episode 10, and without any disrespect to any of my previous guests, I haven't smiled or laughed as much as I have in this past 40 minutes. It's just been
give me an hour. Joy. Give me an hour. We would turn this into a show. I think we should take this on the road.
Can you imagine? That's not a crazy idea. I'm
not a crazy idea.
I'm on the magic carpet for that. There's things that we should definitely be doing.
Yeah, if anyone's watching this, you've got some sponsorship, give us some money. We'll take this on the road and we'll turn it into a show. Dancing girls, dancing badgers, everything.
Monkey badgers, mind moths, all of that.
Absolutely. I think the world needs a bit more joy at the moment. So yeah.
It very much does. Yeah, I'm here for all of that.
Excellent.
Indeed. Yeah, that could be good fun. Amazing. Right. Thank you again.
No, thank you,
Alex.
Thank you so much.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. That's it for today's episode. I think the next show is, if I remember rightly, the 27th of July with musician, musical director, and coach to the entertainment professionals, John Blackburn. That's one to look out for too. He's another fantastic guy with brilliant energy. But until then, once again, Alex, thank you very much. You can watch this back here on LinkedIn. You can watch it back on wherever you like to tune into your Mind Monkeys. But very much appreciate your attention and see you all soon. Thank you. Goodbye.
Magic carpet.